Jesus is talking as the Son, and he says, of that hour no man knows, not the Father, not the Son, nor the angels, or anybody else. There are certain things of Jesus' divine attributes that were veiled in the incarnation. For example, his glory was not seen. He didn't glow when he walked down the streets of Jerusalem. If they were walking in the dark, the disciples didn't get to not use a flashlight or something when Jesus was by because he glowed so much. But obviously, omnipresence, things like that. There was a veiling.
So if someone looks at the scriptures and says that Jesus said the Son did not have that knowledge of the second coming, would you assert that they're not a Christian because they think Jesus was speaking literally and that to be God, you don't have to have all knowledge?
Well, there's a false assumption there. You earlier said that God does not have omniscience because of what Jesus said. The Father knew and the Spirit knew, so God still knew even though there was a veiling for the Son for a specific purpose and a specific time. The Father knew and the Spirit knew. The Father knew and the Spirit knew, and the Spirit knew. Jesus is talking as the Son, and he says, of that hour no man knows, not the Father, not the Son, nor the angels, or anybody else, or anybody else.
There are certain texts that clearly refute that Jesus is God. In Mark chapter 13, Jesus denies that he and the Holy Ghost know the hour, as he says only the Father knows. So since God the Son and the Holy Ghost are ignorant of the hour, there can't be God who's all-knowing.
Muslims have caught me saying this a number of times, and that's fine because I really do believe this. I think if we took if we gave a test to the majority of evangelicals coming out of church this coming Sunday morning on the doctrine of the Trinity, less than half would pass. In fact, I would say we'd have a 75% failure rate.
Yeah.
And probably the majority would test modalistic. Now, that is a problem of ignorance. It's a problem of not teaching the whole counsel of God. A lot of that comes back on the leadership of the church, and there's all sorts of things we could talk about.
The concept of the Trinity only came up after Christians already accepted the deity of Jesus. It was an effort, a philosophical effort to justify something they believed already, an absurdity they believed already. To believe a man is God, they had to come up with an idea of the Trinity. It wasn't that they first came up with the idea of the Trinity and then they said, oh, Jesus is the one that fits into the Trinity. Before Jesus came to the world, no one thought of the Trinity. So the Trinity is an excuse for idolatry.